CPNs, trade lines, and why you should stay far away from anybody trying to get you set up with them. Who am I? I'm Kareem Lewis, your trusted Houston realtor, the one that always keeps it real with you, aka Sergeant Sales. I'm back in the lab. You know me, all my videos, I'm up in the car, getting ready to go to and fro, trying to help out somebody like you. So listen, while you got the time, go ahead and make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, help me, help you, help us. All right, let's get into the meat of the topic today. CPNs, trade lines, why you should stay far away if you're trying to get a rental, especially here in the Houston metro area, okay? Listen, every one of these videos, it always starts from conversations or dealings or whatever, right? And so some of my postings that I have for Second Chance Riddles, I had got people send you advertisements or messages, businesses like to network. I know I network with other businesses. That's how you keep businesses going. I can help you, help me, help you, help us. That's where all that come from, right? So anyway, I had somebody hit me up. It's like, hey, I can help with prepare the documents for your clients. So I'm thinking, maybe they're a transaction coordinator, something like that, which I do need. So if you're a good transaction coordinator, someone that helps with the documents and, submitting paperwork, maybe making calls, stuff like that, hit me up because, things is picking up and I'm gonna need that help, baby, But anyway, they hit me up and said, yeah, I got a website. I help with the documents. So when I said, all right, send me your website, let me check it out. I checked it out. And clearly, the person I could tell is not a follower. They don't look at my videos. If they looked at my videos, they can tell I am anti-guru shmuru. I'm anti all that mumbo jumbo. I don't do fake. I don't do false. Everything is the truth, right? And so when I look on the page, it talks about the same thing I'm talking about now, CPNs and trade lines, how we can boost credit in 10 days. And if you need a job verification letter, we can give you that. If you need pay stubs, we can print up that. We can do this, we can do that. And even on the thing, it tells you, when we give you a file and show you how to a template so that you can type in whatever you have, you got to convert it into a PDF so that it don't come out as scam. It actually said this on the website, like it don't. So the website is telling you it's scam, it's fraud. And then I can only imagine how many people are buying into this, buying it, getting the documents, and then the same ones that's coming out here, oh, I make 10,000, 20,000, baby, I got good credit, baby. Woo, let's go. And then, you go through the process of everything, showing all these homes or whatever, and then boom, it comes back, denied, fraud, because guess what? It's all gonna get picked. So now, if you about to rent a home, you need a rental, right? You got bad credit, you got evictions, you got broken leases, you need second chance, right? If that's you, my best advice to you is, go ahead and start working on your credit. Don't wait until the lease is up. You need to go ahead and fix your credit now, right? I stated on all my videos, your credit score is your name. Those CPNs, those trade lines, everything else is fraudulent. And if you get caught, you get caught for fraud. The sad thing is when I do my documents, anybody that sign up with me, we take precautions to make sure up front that everything is on the up and up. I have you do a credit check. I have you do a background check. It's through TransUnion, strictly official. It's going to be verified so that, you prevent things like this. And it's sad because as a realtor, when I give it to other realtors act like, I gave them just garbage paper. You know what I mean? But I understand it because sadly, you got some bootleg realtors out there that's using some of these companies with these fake documents, and then they pass it out. It's like, yo, don't you take the same ethics class like I take? Why are you trying to steer people into using bootleg methods? You're a fraud. And my thing is, for the commission that you make with a rental, to pay a fine, a T-Rec, 10,000, 20,000, lose your license, it's not worth it, So listen, CPNs, trade lines, what it is for those that don't know, the best way I can tell you is this. These companies, they're going to charge you 10,000, 5,000, whatever they charge it, right? All they're doing is they're going to say they have a credit card. Like right now, say if I got a credit card, it got a $30,000 limit, $40,000 high limit credit card. And, I had it for a while. It shows as good payments or whatever, right? I can put somebody on that credit card as an authorized user. It'll take about 10, 15 days. It'll show up on that credit. I don't have to give you the actual card so you don't use it. But while I have you as an authorized user, it's going to report on your credit. So naturally, your credit, if you don't have no credit cards, this jumps up on your credit. It's an established trade line, right? With a high limit and no balance, it's automatically going to spark up your credit. So now if I got 3, 4 of these cards and I throw it on your credit, now those are those trade lines. That's what's going to boost up your credit. And that's why they tell you, like, yo, within 10, 20 days, you good. You're gonna see increases of 50 to 100 points. Does it work? Yeah, it works. It do work. But the problem is this. It's not lasting. Because what's going to happen is you're going to pay them the money. They're going to add you on. They only going to keep you on that card for about 10 days. That's why they tell you, listen, once we do it, you got about 30 days to go ahead and put in an application. Because what they're going to do is after those 30 days, they're going to take you off the card. Then your credit going to go back to jacked up. Maybe, and a lot of times, it's even worse, right? And so you don't want to do that. Likewise, another thing that's going on right now is people, are doing consignment, right? Where they lease the home, it's in their name, but they let you move in under them. Now, if they do it legally as a sublease where they actually have a contract with the owner to do a sublease, okay, that's official, because that's what most of these Airbnbs, rental arbitrage, that is the core of that. That's what it is. But the problem is, again, you have a lot of scammers that will rent a home using these bootleg documents, bootleg IDs. So it's not going to trace to them. So they rent a house, right? And then in return, they let you move in. That's why they tell you all credit, no credit, bad credit, jail, don't matter. You move in, you probably going to pay like $2,000 extra or whatever. But you in the house, you like, man, I got a nice house, I'm good. The problem is, if something go wrong, you can't claim it. Because guess what? You're not on a lease. And if the owner find out and they really look up everything and see that you're not the person, guess what? They can hit you up with trespass. Now, criminal charges and everything else, what can you do? Likewise, you're in a rental that you can never claim credit for. Because the whole thing is, a lot of people, if you're thinking about using CPNs, if you think about using trade lines and all these other bootleg companies that they got that do this stuff, you're doing it because guess what? You're trying to find somewhere to go. And a lot of times, you're trying to upgrade. Like maybe you live somewhere, the neighborhood a little rough, you want to go somewhere, maybe a better school district for your kids. You want better opportunities. Maybe you increase your income, you work hard, you're doing these things, you just didn't take the time to increase your credit. And so now, you're trying to rent somewhere and it's hard. If you don't have a 650 or better, or at least a 600, it's hard. It's hard to find good housing. So of course, naturally, it's like, man, I got the money now, but it's like nobody want to give me a chance. So of course, you be quick to jump to some of these programs that seem like they can wave a magic wand and just get you into a place. The problem is fraudulent, man. To me, a peace of mind is priceless. And to have a peace of mind when everything that you're doing is on the up and up, you rest easy. Now, I'm going to say something. It might not apply to everybody, but it applies to those that's like me. For anybody that's truly a believer, I'm going off record now, right? To me, if you're a believer, right? You say you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, you follow the word, right? God is a God, right? That you got to serve in spirit and in truth. Keyword, in truth. You can't do fraudulent stuff and say, well, God got me. God going to make it happen. No, he not. That's a setup. So I just got to add that to that. Because you got so many people that be like, oh, God gave me a blessing. But you use bootleg documents. That's not a blessing. It's a curse. And it always get reversed. I've seen it many times. I remember years ago, I had people that I knew, they use some of these bootleg companies to get autos, cars and stuff, and you'll see them now. Like, this is tax time, so now everybody got a little deposit money or whatever. So now they go into these auto shops, whatever. Oh, I'm gonna get me a foreign. I'm gonna get this Audi. I'm gonna get this Lexus. I'm gonna get this Beamer. I'm gonna get this whatever, right? And they got these bootleg documents. They got a little extra money. You'll see them posted up with a nice ride, and or they taking these trips. But then when it comes back fraud and they get repoed because the money ain't matching up, the real money they make or just stuff, and they get swiped, now they quick to say the devil. You was your own devil. You was your own antichrist. You was your own one that poisoned what could have been done the right way. And that's why I've learned through past mistakes, growth, and maturity that the best way is always the right way. It might be a slower way, but the right way will give you peace of mind, peace at heart. So to all my people, if you looking to rent this year, listen, I'm trying to make a move. Sorry, sales, I'm trying to make a move. I'm trying to go somewhere new, exciting, for whatever reason. Maybe now you want to go to an apartment complex that got swimming pools, and all these nice amenities that I see, man. They got some apartment complexes here in Houston, man. They look like baby resorts. They got wave pools and rooftop pools, and they got the workout gyms that look like, something from Beverly Hills. And I mean, they awesome. You might want to upgrade. Maybe, instead of living in the city, now I want to go to the outskirts. I want to go to the Cadies. I want to go to the Woodlands. I want to go to Sugarland. I want to go to Sienna. Some of these nice little spots that's out here, right? You want to do an upgrade if this is the move, or even if you're ready for a home, right? Take the time now. Don't wait until your lease is up. The time now to fix your credit. You already know I put out too many videos. I got a playlist, or if you follow me, I got playlists on most of my social media. I got playlists. You can go ahead and get yourself squared away with the DIY kits, or you hit me up if you need a sample. I can hook you up, where you do it yourself in the lessons, so that this way you learn it slowly. It's a slow process, but it's a lasting process, and you have a peace of mind knowing that I know my credit is right. I know my paperwork is right. I know everything is right, especially my self-employed people. Listen, I got videos on it, right? And I keep saying that. I got videos on it. People ask me, yo, I'm trying to find out the information. Hello, this is why I make these videos, these long videos, baby. I'm trying to give you this free game. And then people don't get it. So if you are self-employed, you are business, this is how you're going for a rental, or even if you're trying to buy a home. If you are self-employed, rather you are sole proprietor, rather you are LLC, S Corp, C Corp, whatever corp, right? You must have your paperwork right. You gotta have a checking account for your business that's separate from your personal. Facts. And even if you're a sole proprietor, like I said, the cheapest way, you should have a separate account for your business that you take your business deposits and then show a check going to your personal. So that's how you show payments, right? You should be paying yourself. You should be whatever. If you're a sole proprietor, at a minimum, you should have your EIN. At a minimum, you should have a 1099, because you should be filing taxes. If all your business is cash and Cash App, you don't have a business. You have a hustle, okay? If you want to do business with people, you need to have business. W-2, which is easier, W-2 employee, that's regular, paychecks, pay stubs, all that stuff. Or if you are self-employed, you need to have your business right. Otherwise, you will have a hard time and pay a lot of extra money to get approved for nothing. So listen, this is Kareem Lewis. As always, I try to give y'all the secret sauce. As I'm the secret sauce boss, the secret sauce king, I try to give it to you as much as I can, as I think about it. Listen, if you have any questions, comments, you saw one of my videos, you want more details, or you want me to break down something, right? If it's dealing with real estate, the rental game, how to buy, my home sellers. I got a home sell series that's out there right now. You having problems selling your house, let me show you some options. You ain't paid your mortgage in a couple of months. You already know you're getting close to foreclosure. Maybe you're trying to save your home. Maybe you're just trying to get out of your home. Maybe you upside down in your home. You've been paying it, all my people that purchase new homes. I know I'm getting off topic, but I'm just flowing as I flow, right? It's going to get broken down anyway into a little segment, so it's all gravy. For all my people that own homes and you upside down, all my people that purchase brand new homes and you within that 2-year, 3-year mark, and finally them taxes that realtor or that salesman at the builder office never told you about, how them taxes going to jump up once they assess the actual property and not just the land, and your taxes jump up to now where your mortgage is jumping up $500,000. I seen somebody, they mortgage jumped up $2,000 once them taxes hit. You know what I'm saying? If this is you, listen, do not take a foreclosure and do not feel that there's no way. There's always a way, depending, right? I'm not going to say 100%, but in most cases, there's always a way out. And at least hit me up, 346-589-8925, 346-589-8925, right? If you have any issues, right, you a homeowner, do not go in foreclosure. If you are a homeowner and you just need to move, right? Sometimes you get a job somewhere else, get that money, you're trying to sell your house. Right now, this is a supreme buyer market, and a lot of people, when they sell these homes, they got to they got to drop the original price 10 all the way down. I've seen 40% in some cases. And that's a L. That's a lot. That's a big loss where you got to pay just to get out of your house. Or if you're a landlord and you got to pay just to rent your house, let me talk to my investors. It's a lot of investors, listen, since I've been in the game since 2023, it's a lot of investors that have been buying brand new homes or homes in general, probably because they had a realtor, let's do Section 8, baby. You're going to get money, instant money, big money. Woo, look how much they paying versus the rental, the market value for rent in this area. You getting money, baby, or just whatever wolf tickets they gave you to help you, push you to buy that home. And now when you in the reality of, man, I'm not getting that much like they promised or what they said I was going to get, I'm not getting, and I'm taking L's. I'm tired of taking L's, Sergeant Sales. Listen, you tired? Call me. That's all you got to do. 346-589-8925. 346-589-8925. That's my 24-hour auto response hotline that, you can set up a call, an actual call with me, and we can discuss some of your options. Once you become a true client, we can go in depth, and, I can try my best to get you helped out. Like I said, I'm not only a realtor, I'm an investor, right? And I've been doing investing for a while, creative financing. That's my specialty. That's how I came up. Wholesaling, bird dog, creative financing, subject to owner financing, subleases, all that stuff. I got experience with it. I know it. And that's what makes me a little better. Everybody got their specialties. You got a lot of good realtors out there, and I ain't knocking nobody. All I'm saying is I got to big up myself. And this is the advantages you get with working with, not only I'm a realtor, so I got rental knowledge, right? And I can help you with that. Maybe you having problems getting people in your house or how to qualify people to rent your house. Call me. Maybe you trying to sell your house. You having problems. Your house been on the market more than 6 months. It's not selling. Call me. Maybe you say, I wanted to do it by myself. So you put it up on Zillow and, you tired of taking all these calls all time of the morning, or people that's showing up and they not even qualified to buy. They just want to waste time looking around, and you like, yo, I need a process. Call me. I'm not free, but I will make it worth the while. Again, remember at the beginning of this video, I talk about peace. Peace is priceless. Having a peace of mind is priceless. And if you're ready for a peace of mind, my homeowners, my investors, my tired landlords, you want a peace of mind, call me. You're a renter. You tired of going to different places and you're not getting accepted. Call me. 346-589-8925. 346-589-8925. Hit them numbers. Call me. Who is me? Kareem Lewis, your trusted Houston realtor.